Discovery Houston, press to ATO.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight in the orbit of Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
3, 2, 1, 0, 0.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Alright, hi guys. Welcome to Picture This New Media. Lower this here. My name is Halal Ernie and you're watching Picture This New Media. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we are going over the, you know what, the music kind of sounded good in the background. Let me fix that. I think I'm gonna miss it. Here, give me 1 second. I feel silly now. Here we go. DMCA free music. There it is. Alright. Cool. Great. Now we get to start here. Alright. So, today I will be going over today's new comic book day haul, and as I was going through them, they're gonna be a, well, not haul, but my recommendations, my pickets, my skip its, and I realized that there's not really going to be a lot of number ones today, and a lot that I'm not really going to be interested in, either because one, it's not my thing, or two, I haven't been able to catch up with it, or three, I'm so far behind that I'm just waiting for the trade paperbacks. Those are my three categories that I'm in right now. But I will get through this and try to give best recommendations set by that standard as possible. So a lot of Marvel and DC ones are gonna be, you know, skip its for me. I might recommend, you know, what skip its for me is gonna be different from you. I'm skipping it because one, like, either I don't like the property, like I said, or two, I'm not caught up with the story. Those are the two main reasons. I don't like the property, or I'm not caught up enough to understand what's going on. There'll be like a number, like Moon Knight number 16. You know, I'll have to read 1 through 16 in order to get what's going on. You know, that's basically where we're at. So we'll be starting off with this first row here. DC Comics Nightwing number 97. Obviously, I'm gonna skip that one, but I've heard mixed reviews on that one, not really that good. Same with the Flash. Looks like they're really trying to sell this Black Adam. Even my local comic book store, local comic book shop has Black Adam advertisements all over the place. So yeah, Esther's starting her job today. This was actually her second day, her new job, and she's no longer working at McDonald's, so that's good. Send her congratulations in the chat or in the comments below. That would be great. Speaking of comments, I need to do one other thing. I should have done this before I went live. I was busy getting the show ready. Let me see here. I'm gonna do it where the live replay can basically be played again, like if I do get somebody in the chat, they'll be able to see you know, what they said. Pretty much what they said at another point in time. Live chat replay. Save. Alright. I want to get subscribers only so I can get people to actually leave a chat, but you know, I don't want to force people to subscribe just yet. Just kidding. And thank you to those who got me up to 140. I really appreciate it. I wish YouTube kind of did a more thorough update of who's subscribing, because I can't thank everybody who subscribed, but thank you to Michael, the last person who subscribed. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So let's see here. Alright, let's go ahead and continue. Moon Knight number 16. I started off Moon Knight and it was doing alright. I recommend it. It's doing better than the show, what I've heard. I couldn't keep up with it, so I'm skipping it, but I do recommend it. Thor number 28. It's enticing me with Venom being on the cover, but not enough. I'm not sure. Let me see if it's even part of the thing. See, Thor number 28. Thor versus Venom round 2. Hammer versus tongue. I'm going to put this one as a maybe, just because if you're a Venom fan like me, this is actually pretty interesting to me myself. I wish I had known this during the creation. I wish I had known this a chapter ago, or an issue ago. But yeah, it looks really cool. I'll put this one as a maybe, just because Venom. But if it was without Venom, I would have, yeah, definitely not cared about this one at all. Next up is X-Men number 16. Don't like the direction X-Men is going in. I'm going to skip it, and I'm not going to recommend it. The Dynamic Duo, World's Finest. It looks like a little bit to the callback of Batman, Superman, back to the Golden Age series, or just right before the Golden Age series. I can't tell you off the bat, but if you go to leagueofcomicgeeks.com up here, you'll be able to catch the description. Let's see here. Reckless Youth continues as Superman and Batman struggle to mentor the new boy Thunder. Okay, so maybe it's not even a callback. So I don't recommend this one. I do not. I don't. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Next up is The Avengers, number 61. I have not kept up with the Avengers, so I'm going to skip it, and I can't give a recommendation to it because I have no idea what's going on. Same with the X-Force Judgment Day. Star Wars Darth Vader, I am going to skip it, and I am also not going to recommend it. The writing has really taken a turn for the worse at Marvel with Star Wars, and a lot of the stuff that I thought would be good has turned out to be garbage. The only thing that's actually kind of decent stories is the Dark Horse Comics Star Wars. And those ones, like, I don't know. I'm too far gone into this one. I don't know what's going on at number 28, so I can't skip it, but I also can't recommend it. Or I'm going to skip it, but I also can't recommend it. The Batman The Knight, number 10. I heard it's really good. This is the final chapter of the series, so I recommend to people who have kept up with this. The same with the Flashpoint Beyond. It looks like it's the final one of that miniseries. If you like that so far, I do recommend it, but I'm gonna skip it personally. Catwoman number 48. I am going to skip it. I am totally not caught up, and I have no idea what's going on in there. But if you are a Catwoman fan, I think you may just be disappointed. I'm not sure, but I don't think it's holding up to what it originally was. Carnage number 7, I can't recommend enough. What Marvel does right usually is in the Venom, Carnage, and some of the Spider-Man series, like the original Spider-Man. So I am gonna recommend Carnage, and I'm going to get it. Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 1 is a revolutionary dark take on Spider-Man begins here. What is reality and what is a dream? What is science and what is magic? At the intersection of all this stands a deadly neighborhood Spider-Man. Peter Parker goes to Los Angeles, and what he finds there are definitely not angels. The demons waiting for Peter are going to test him like never before. One demon in particular, a very famous one for Marvel and X-Men fans. Ugh. Are they really gonna go with X fans? Okay, X fans in particular might just eat Spider-Man alive. This part in the description alone is giving me not good vibes. Let's see here. First he gets Savage, now he gets Deadly Hunting Demon Bear in San Francisco. I'm not 100% what's going on. What is taboo here, but some interesting coincidences going on. Who are the characters in the Bengal cover? Awesome. So, did this get cancelled or what? Hope it's not like non-stop Spider-Man, which is really boring to me. And it's got a demon bear. Okay, demon bear. I'm not much with the Marvel lore to see what demon bear they are talking about, but yeah, I don't think it's a one-shot. So yeah, I think this one might Alright, yeah, see, look, it's gonna be a 3-part so far. So yeah, the cover looks pretty cool. And there's a bunch of different covers here. My face is kind of blocking it, but you can see what that I think that's a Peach Momoko. It looks like Peach Momoko. It looks really cool. I hope I get that one. There we go. There's a way to make it bigger. That one looks dope. You can see the bear. There's the Peach Momoko. Yeah, it is a Momoko variant. Momoko variant, I said. 125 Momoko variant. That's so dope. There's the Albuquerque variant. That's cool. That one was a Sainsweck. I can't say his last name. I'm gonna butcher it. But there we go. That's that guy. Then we've got the Bengal connection variant. The hell is that? That's weird. We've got the Casanovas variant. Cool. That's cool. That almost looks like Evil Ernie style of covers. And then we got this boring ass one right here. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna give this one a chance. It's $4.99. It's a little bit above the price range, but it looks like it's gonna be worth it. Definitely a good number 1 to collect. Next up we have Gunslinger Spawn number 13. Of course I'm going to get that. I recommend it. Pick it. Catch up with it. Everything, all the above. Iron Man number 24. I'm going to skip it. Not interested. Dark Crisis, Young Justice. I'm gonna skip it. Not interested. Batman, One Bad Day, The Penguin. I am going to leave that one up as a maybe. It is $7.99, so right now at this moment, currently for me personally, I cannot afford that one. So I am going to skip it only on the basis that I can afford it. If I had a little extra money on the side, I would get this one as a maybe. Like if I, same thing. If I had an extra $8 lying around, I would get that one. I like Penguin. I've always liked Penguin, so I want to see what kind of modern take they're gonna do, if they're gonna ruin it or if they're gonna make it good. And like I said, there's a lot of number 2s that I missed number 1s about or I haven't read yet. So Midnight Suns is not one of them, and I'm gonna skip it. Same with Predator. I'm going to skip it. Deceased, War of Undead Gods. I am going to skip it, but it looks interesting, and it is a mini-series, so I am going to recommend this one. Deadly Class number 56. I'm going to skip it, but I'm going to recommend it. I did read number 1 at the number 1 Image First, they call it, and it's a really good story, so I'd love to see how it had evolved up to number 56. I recommend getting the trade paperbacks and seeing if you like it. There's an Image First version of it where it's $1 and you get to see issue number 1. So I recommend getting that one, number 1, and if you like it, you can move on to the trade paperbacks and catch up. That's how I do it. It's really cool. Really, 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 really cool. I did that with Saga, and I don't hate myself for doing it. Don't regret it at all. It was a great series. Deadly Class might be up there. DC versus Vampires, All Out War, number 4. I didn't catch number 1. I am regretting it. It does look like a cool series, but I'm gonna skip it. Recommend it though. Captain America: Symbol of Truth. I'm going to skip it, and I'm not going to recommend it. Tired of getting he was already a really respected his own character, and he was an original black character. That's what was great about him. He was an original African American black character, and they made him Captain America. Like, he had to take up the white man's mantle type of thing. I don't like that kind of content. I don't like that the female has to take up where the man left behind, or the black guy has to take up the old used second-hand garbage from the white dude. They're strong enough to hold their own weight, and they can make strong enough characters to hold up their own weight. Really, it's not that hard. Crypt of Shadows number 1 by Marvel Comics. Let me take a look at this one actually. Crypt of Shadows, Werewolf by Moon Knight. Down came the rain, neither big nor bad, skin crawl, endless slaughter, and the infinite swamp. So it looks like a Halloween, basically a Halloween non-canon stories. It's got Moon Knight and looks like Wolverine and some other characters. I am going to skip it, but I'm going to recommend it for Marvel enjoyers, people who like Marvel. They might get a little kick out of it. It is $5.99, so you are going to pay $2 above the average comic book price. I Am Batman number 14. I'm going to skip it, but only because I'm not familiar or caught up. Same with Image Comics, The Silver Coin. I am going to skip it, but I am going to recommend it. It did start a good story. I'm just not caught up with it, and I have so much in my back catalog that this isn't one of the ones that are my priority, but I do recommend it to others. Rogues number 4 by DC Comics, I'm going to skip it. Black Adam number 5, I'm going to skip it. Not interested in these two stories. Andromeda, Aquaman, Andromeda, I'm going to skip it. Not interested in that IP. Alien number 2 by Marvel Comics, I am going to skip it. I am going to recommend it though, because Marvel usually does Alien pretty good when it comes to comic books. So I'm going to recommend it, but I'm not going to get it myself. The Walking Dead number 49, the deluxe edition, I am going to skip it. But I'm going to recommend it to Walking Dead fans. Public domain number 5, I'm going to skip it personally, but I do recommend it. I am gonna wait for the trade paperback on this one. It's an interesting story, or it has to do with superheroes and copyrights and the comic book industry. So it's interesting how they tie that all together. But I'm gonna wait for the trade paperback on that one. Defenders Beyond number 4, I am going to skip it. Not interested in this storytelling, not interested in the story. It just looks like it's not made for me. The Bone Orchard Mythos, 10,000 Black Feathers, I am going to recommend it, and I'm going to pick it. This is a really good number 1. Let me remind myself of the actual plot. Trish and Jackie get pulled deeper into the fantasy world that they created, but the terrors of the real world are difficult to separate, and their teenage daydreams are proving to be equally dangerous. Yes, so it's about some nerds creating a universe and to kind of escape their real life problems. And yeah, it seems that reality always kind of slaps you, especially when you're enjoying your fantasy world. The other day I was playing Dungeons and Dragons, well, not Dungeons and Dragons, I was playing a tabletop game with my friends, and then next thing you know, reality comes and something very sad happened in my life. You'll see it in my shorts. My dog passed away, bless her heart. She lost her battle of cancer, and yep, life just gets at you. So I recommend this one, and you'll like it. Image Comics usually does really good emotional drama comics. Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, number 4, by Marvel. I am going to skip it. I'm not really interested in Shang-Chi. Let's see. Miracle Man, The Silver Age by Marvel. The secret origin of a young miracle man. The Silver Age begins after 30 years. Young Miracle Man, the lost member of Miracle Man, is back. His last memories were of 1963, world of joy and innocence. Now he's being thrust into 21st century. This probably isn't gonna be for me, and yeah, I'm not interested in this one. It's probably gonna be a cross section between some quote unquote woke writing with let's see, game Kohik. I don't know. They are old enough to kind of hold their own. But whenever I see covers like this, even though it is Momoko, it gets me a little worried. I don't know. I'll keep this as a maybe. I'll keep it as a maybe. If I have enough money left over, I will get that one, and I will make a review right away. I promise you guys. That's directly from me. Titans United Blood Pack to issue number 2. I'm going to skip it. Harley Quinn Legion of Bats number 1. I am going to skip it. I don't. Judging by the cover right there, they really did my girl Harley Quinn dirty, especially Ivy. Fables Black Forest number 6 of 12, issue number 156. I am going to wait for the trade paperback, but I recommend this one if you're caught up with it. Amazing story. Nothing like you'd imagine out of DC nowadays. It's really good. Really, really good. GCPD, Gotham City PD, The Blue Wall, number 1. I am definitely going to skip that one. I don't know. It just doesn't seem very interesting to me. I read a little bit about it. Still relatively early in the tenure, GCPD Commissioner Renee Montoya sets out to rebuild her department and restore public faith. So it seems like it's just basically gonna be a she boss kind of stuff. And there's people that are saying that it's propaganda. I really don't care. That's DC Comics has always been pro cop, so I don't know what this yeah, this is silly. This is a silly discussion. DC has always been pro cop. It's in the name, Detective Comics. I mean, come on. But I'm not worried about it being pro cop or anything. I'm not pro cop, but you know, we need them for the most part. And yeah, it just looks like a she boss kind of bitch. She boss, bad bitch vibes, and I don't get down with those kind of stories because it just portrays women as manly, and it doesn't use their normal strengths, their God-given strengths to problem solve. And it's like they're fixing up the incompetent men's mess that was left behind. That's all. I guarantee you that's what this is going to be about. Next up is WYND. I think it's Wind, The Throne in the Sky, number 3. I'm going to get, even though it's a little bit above what I can afford right now, it's 100% a great story. The animation is a little disappointing to me, but the art style is a little disappointing to me, but the story itself is amazing, and the art itself is really good too. I just don't like the style. It's not my style. G.I. Joe by IDW, A Real American Hero, number 299. I am going to skip it. I'm not a G.I. Joe fan, never really was. Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer, number 6. I'm going to skip it, but I do recommend it to people. If you're into the whole metal scene and fantasy with axes and manly man doing manly man crap, you're gonna like that one for sure. Above Snakes, number 4. I like the story enough, but I'm gonna skip it for now. I'm gonna wait for the trade paperback on this guy. I'm definitely gonna wait for the trade paperback. This one's a really good story, but there's so many floppies that I'm getting. It's hard to keep up with these kinds of stories in there. All New Firefly, number 4. I'm going to skip it. Same with Anita Hawk's Nightmare Blog. It was a cute concept, and I like the story. I'm gonna recommend it to horror fans, but with a little bit of caution, because it does talk about blogs, and it's a little bit cheesy. A little cheesy. There was good cheesy in it, but it's just a little too much cheesy for my taste. Sacrament, number 3. I'm gonna skip, but I'm gonna recommend to others that might like this AWA's thing. I haven't kept up with it, and it's a really good miniseries. And yeah, if it comes out in trade paperback, I think I'm gonna get the trade paperback. Mindset number 4 by Vault Comics. It's a really good story so far. Really good intellectual mind thriller. So I definitely recommend that one. I'm gonna get it. Immortal Red Sonja number 7. I'm gonna get. Pick it. I recommend it. Duo by Milestone. I don't think this even goes. Yeah, it does. Duo by Milestone in DC Comics number 6. I'm gonna skip it. I don't even know what it's about, and doesn't look interesting to me. Hellboy and Love number 1. I am probably gonna skip it because I am not really into the whole love stories of badass characters, anti-heroes, stuff like that. I don't really care about their love life. If it's kind of introduced in the comic throughout the comic, then that's cool. But if it's a story dedicated to it, then I think it's something that I'm gonna skip. It is a 5-part miniseries, so it might not be that bad, but for the sake of money, I'm gonna skip it. If I have enough, I think I'll get it, but it just Esther's not reading them fast enough, and I'm not caring enough to keep on continuing with the Hellboy. The story doesn't even seem that great either. Artifacts are being transported by train to the British Museum. Archaeologists, yeah, it's like Mummy or something. Nothing interesting here. Unlike what's going on with Dark Horse Comics and the Shaolin Cowboy, Cruel to Be Kin, number 6, I'm gonna get it if the comic book store has it. Lately they've been not having it, but I definitely recommend this one. Definitely pick it. I will pick it, but if you have lots of chunks missing like me, I definitely would recommend getting the trade paperback of that one. Next up is Eve, Children of the Moon, number 1, and that one I am going to possibly get. I did finish the first part. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to get this one. I forgot what it was about. Long-awaited return of the best-selling sci-fi adventure is finally here. Eve seemingly saved the world once already, embarking on a perilous quest to protect what remained of humanity after a deadly virus outbreak. But the story doesn't end there. Eve's sister, and Wexler face new challenges and darkness from the past. Ooh. So the disease that killed them off and almost killed her and almost killed her clone, which is her sister, which is her. So it's really deep. You gotta read the first part. There's a new danger. So I'm definitely going to get this one. Boom Studios knocked it out of the park the first time with this. So hopefully the sequel, season 2, for lack of a better phrase, does good. Vampirella Strikes. I really like what's going on in that story. I'm going to get that. DC Comics Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Number 118. I'm going to skip it, but I recommend it, especially for what's going on with the whole Velma crap lately. IDW Publishing, True Cult, number 3. I am going to skip it, but I recommend it. Same with The Deadliest Bouquet, skip it, but recommend it. I didn't catch the beginning of these ones, and I have too much on my plate to continue to start with any other ones. Castle Full of Blackbirds, same with this one. I'm skipped out on number 1, but you know, if you get the chance to get it, I recommend it. Shirtless Bear Fighter, I totally recommend this one. I am gonna pick it. It's a really good story. It's so funny and so out there. You're gonna love it. It's amazing. Sonic, Scrapnik Island, I'm gonna skip it. Nothing against Sonic, I just have too much on my plate, and you know, Sonic from IDW has been more for teens and younger viewers lately, so not really for me. Dynamite Mad Balls versus Garbage Pail Kids, I'm gonna skip it. I got number 1, but I really don't care for this IP that much in order to get it. But I recommend it if you're fans of these growing up, but it's really not good enough to make a story out of. Triskelay number 5, I recommend this one and catching up with it as well. Really good story, really good story. Forever Forward number 2, like I said, there's a lot of number 2s and 3s in this one. I'm gonna skip it, but recommend Parasomnia. I'm gonna skip it, and I don't recommend this one by Dark Horse Comics. It's a little too cliche and it's just so predictable, very predictable, and it wasn't fun reading because I could predict everything that happened. Crashing number 2, I am going to skip it, and if you're in the medical field, I will recommend it to you guys, but people outside of the medical field probably isn't going to connect with them very well, so I don't recommend it for them. Let's see here. 2000 AD, number 2304. I am going to skip it. I think I got one of them, but it wasn't really interesting to me. Image Comics, the marked number 1 Halloween special. I am going to skip it personally, but I'm going to recommend it. There's too many ones going for the what's it called, Halloween specials, and they're all kind of charging $5.99 for it. So I'm gonna choose wisely. There's a 3D version of this one too, so I recommend this one and the 3D version. If you're a collector, it's gonna be worth it. Personally, for me, I'm going to skip it unless it's unless I have a smaller haul than what I normally think I'm gonna get. Phantasmagoria, I'm going to skip it, but I do recommend it. I'm gonna wait for the trade paperback on this one. Black Caravan Scout always does really great trade paperback titles. Horror Comics number 14 by Antarctic Press. I'm going to skip it, but I'm going to recommend it. Dead Kingdom by Red 5. If we get this one at my local comic book shop, I'm going to pick it. It looks really interesting. It's $3.95. Mysterious plague is haunting the kingdom. With the help of Peacekeeper, a group of soldiers investigate a village that may hold the answers to what is happening, but the truth is far worse than everybody could ever imagine. Dead Kingdom is a 5-part multi-layered saga that will explore a world where sorcery, brotherhood, and love collide with the rising nightmare of the living dead. So yeah, that sounds like a Berserk straight up. Like, yeah, this looks really dope. I'm excited to see what this one will be about, and see if we even get it at my comic book shop, because Red 5 isn't something normally you get. Next up is Hyper Aware by Source Point Press. 3 astronauts are stranded in deep space, but this is number 1. They learn that only 2 of them will be able to enter hypersleep for the long return home. One of the crew members makes the difficult decision to remain awake and live the rest of his life alone, with only spacecraft's onboard AI for company. But when the other 2 astronauts wake up, they discover something horrible has happened while they were unconscious. He sabotaged it. Ooh. I'm very interested. This sounds cool. Did he fuck with them? Did he mess with them? Oh. Ooh, excited. Very excited. Alright. I recommend that. Hyper Aware by Source Point Press. Definitely this looks cool. See, I don't know what's going on here. They're releasing 14, 15, and 16. This isn't Netflix, guys. we can't binge comics. It's really hard and it's really expensive. So if you have the money, if you have the extra money, I recommend these things. But Antarctic Press is doing this thing where they're releasing multiple ones, and it's gonna be expensive. Next up by Scout Comics is Agent of WORLDE. I'm going to skip it, but it looks interesting. Just not my cup of tea. Let's see here. From Secret Family to Yours, Ex-Spies with Metal Eyes, Happy Beginnings and Sad Endings. Do not observe the cat. Things will get from worse to worse. All of that except in reverse. See, it sounds fun, but it's not really something I'm interested in. Next up is Skybound, Ninjago, and Lego. That's Image Comics. Definitely recommend this for your kids. I remembered my youngest stepchild really loved Ninjago, and it was good, innocent stories. Good lord, I don't know what's wrong with my head today. Next up is Jujutsu Kaisen 201. I'm not caught up, so I'm going to skip it, but I do recommend this, and I'm catching up with the anime. Really, really good anime. Judge Dredd magazine by Rebellion. I'm going to skip it because it doesn't come to my local comic book shop. Postmasters #1 by SourcePoint Press. And a post-pandemic America. Oh God. One of the only things still remotely functioning is the mail, but with mass casualties to their ranks, the Postal Service has been forced to adapt to a consistently more aggressive set of routes with less and less carriers to service them. One of the last remaining postmasters, 32, sets out to deliver a one-of-a-kind letter that mysteriously appeared in the Western States Distribution Center. Wicked train, highway robbers, and the wicked all stand between number 32 and its destination. Putting a malo. Okay. It's $5.99. I'm not sure I'll get it. There's so many that are overpriced this week because of Halloween and all the specials. But if I have the money left over, I am going to get this. This sounds interesting enough to give it one shot, but I don't think it's something that I'm gonna. I don't know. I'll give it a chance. I like the art. I like the premise, but it's just something that I'm not sure will be that good of a story. We'll see. We'll see if the story is. See if I'm proved wrong. Next up is Alpha Betas #1 by Whatnot Publishing. Now, I don't think this one is going to be at my local comic book shop, but let's see if it holds up. If I could recommend it to anybody else that's going to get this. Origins Part 1. Rick and Morty meets Tron as top gamers Eddie, Buck, Mason, and Tommy, very generic names, find themselves caught in the middle of a high-stakes battle between the US government and digital terrorists inside the virtual realm of video games. Now they must save the pixelated world of Nimbus to prevent a catastrophic consequence in the real world. Alright, you know what? It sounds cute. Sounds kind of funny. It's enough to give it a one-shot chance. Let's see if it holds up. I will pick it if I can. Next up is Fear of the Funhouse #1 by Archie Comics. A night camping at the treehouse in the woods leads to preteen Archie and his friends to do what any kid their age would do in this scenario, tell scary stories. But each story grows creepier and creepier as the kids realize that maybe, just maybe, there's some truth to some of these tales. Sounds cute, but I'm a little too old to be getting these kinds of stories and to be liking them. I definitely recommend this if you're trying to get your kids into comics and, you know, kind of relate to them, be like, this is the comic I grew up with, see if you like it. And it's not got the old school humor in it, so they're not reading their old Archie. And yeah, it's good for the kids, I guess. It's good for the kids. I recommend it for the kids. Next up is Unprepped number 3 by Antarctic Press. I'm going to recommend it, but I'm going to skip it myself. It looks fun enough. I kind of regret not getting number 1 or 2, so definitely check that out. IDW's Transformers Best of Grimlock number 1. I recommend if you're a Transformers fan, if you like that character. Other than that, nah. As of the Barb number 2, I'm definitely gonna get. Love number 1. Love the premise of the story. Really good. Recommend this one. Grim Tales presents Horror Pinup 2022. I recommend this if you like the arts and the pinups and stuff like that. It's gonna be a really good story. Also, there's a short story in there as well. So definitely recommend this one. It is a little bit pricier than normal. Like I said, a lot of this week's choices are going to come down to if I can afford it or not. That's just the way it is. Next up is Code 45 by Scout Comics. I don't know about this one enough to recommend it. I kind of liked number 1, but I kind of fell off and haven't been able to keep up with it. There's dragon hunting that's involved in this. It's an interesting world setup, but I'll recommend it. Recommend it. Yes, get it. Exciting Comics number 25 by Antarctic Press. I'm not nearly knowledgeable enough about what's going on there. Gold Digger, same with that. I have no idea what's going on there. Can't recommend it. Just can't recommend it. I'm gonna skip it myself. I'm gonna skip that. I'm gonna skip Heaven's Rejects by SourcePoint Press. I did not like the description in the issue number 1. Planet Comics number 9, 10. I'm not familiar with these materials, so I'm not gonna comment on it. Black Clover number 341. I recommend it to Black Clover fans. I'm catching up on the anime, so if you're caught up with the manga, it's coming out, or it's already came out. Destiny New York Halloween Special number 1 by Black Mask. Welcome to the world where magic is real and accepted part of everyday life. Meet Meadow, a teenager attending a prophecy school in New York City to help deal with her dark future. She has been destined to die. Meanwhile, a love-born barista visits a fortune teller and receives his own dark prediction. The fan-favorite slice-of-life fantasy series Destiny New York returns with 2 brand new feature-length stories in time for a spooky season. So basically this is a volume 2, this is a one-shot, this is the beginning to that story. And I am not familiar with Destiny New York number 1. It looks cute, it sounds cute. It sounds like a very interesting story. for $5.99. It's kind of everything's $5.99 with these specials. So again, I recommend this one. I would pick it if I can afford it. We'll see how it goes whenever I go to the comic book shop, because I don't think I'm going to be able to afford most of these. Ugh, sucks. But that's just the way it goes. I definitely recommend it, and I would pick it if I can. Antarctic Press, I'm going to skip all the Antarctic Press ones. I did buy Samurai 2.0 number 1 over the weekend. So I am kind of upset that they have number 2 and 3 coming out at the same time. If the comic book shop has it, I'll pick up one of them. Popstar Assassin number 2. I am going to skip it. Not really my scene. I didn't really like the description of it, so I can't recommend it. But if you're into assassins, if you're into blaxploitation type films, you might like Popstar Assassin. Yeah. Tiger's Tongue number 4 by Mad Cave Studios. I didn't get this one because it seemed like a she-boss bad bitch, but I do kind of regret it a little bit. It does look kind of cool. So I am going to skip it, but I am going to wait for the trade paperback. I'm going to read number 1 online, see if it's worth it. I'm going to skip it for now, and I'm going to not recommend it. I'm just going to leave it as is, leave up to your discretion. Samurai 2.0, I love number 1. I'm going to recommend these two. I'm just pissed off that they came out at the same time. I don't get Weekly Shonen Jump. Ninja High School, I recommend, and it's a really good story. It's just hard to keep up with. Obviously 183, and there's a bunch of old series. Blood Moon Comics, Ice Canyon Monster number 3. I don't get Blood Moon Comics. DC Comics JLA starring Batman. Con Edison Giveaway number 0. What? I don't know what this is about. If it's free, I'll take it. Yeah, it's an 8-page. Looks stupid. I think it's a conference title. Anyways, next up is well, there really isn't anything new that's gonna be coming out at my store. We don't carry Scene Book. We don't carry a lot of these Antarctic Press titles. We don't carry the Weekly Shonen Jump thing. Manga Z, yeah, we don't carry that. Don't cover webtoons. Comixology, Boruto, if you're a Naruto fan, I recommend that one. Comixology we get sometimes. I don't know anything about the Beatrix Rose, but it does kind of look cool. It kind of reminds me of Vampirella and the one that was coming out recently. I can't remember her name. And I do recommend Spy Family number 69. I love that story. I love everything about it. It's a really good story. I recommend catching up with the anime as well. You'll love it. The Japanese voiceover is so much better than the English one. The cuteness of Anya is a lot more defined in her character under the Japanese title, under the Japanese voiceover. The English voiceover they try so hard, and bless her heart, she does a good job, but it's nothing in comparison to the Japanese title. The Japanese energy even the boy and the husband and the wife, their voices in the Japanese, they're so intense and so cute and so curious. I recommend the Japanese sub, watching it in subs over the English dub. The English dub tried, they really did, but they didn't capture the magic that the original Japanese voiceovers did. So yeah, take that with what you will. If you're gonna watch Spy Family, I'd recommend it in Japanese. If you can't do the subtitles, if it's too fast for you, which it happens, and sometimes I do have to pause the anime to read it so that I can catch up, but it's worth it. It's really worth it, because the English one just doesn't do it justice. They try, but it just doesn't do it. So yeah, that does it here. I've talked for about an hour now. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the new subscribers. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much to those who donated to Allie's GoFundMe. I really appreciate all the donations and the love that was sent. She's no longer in pain, and she's doing better. So, well, not doing better, but she's no longer in pain, and that's what matters. That's what matters. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you picked up in the comments below. Let me know if you thought that my skip-its were too bad, or if I missed a good one. In the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Salam alaikum. Have yourself a great day. Catch me over on twitch.tv/PictureThisNewMedia, and you can watch me